We will be discussing about the demographics, interest, geographical location, the behavior of people, and the technology based information that is available under the audience section. Okay, finally with the users flow. Okay, so demographics, basically what is demographics is nothing but your location, where you are located at. Okay, so if you look into this one, okay, the demographics details includes your location, age, gender, and other information about you. Okay, in every section under overview or interest or geo, there is something called overview option, which means it is going to give you the summary of the report which you are going to see at the bottom. Okay, summary of the report which you are going to see at the bottom. One thing that we need to have a look at this one is the date range. By default, last 7 days data is displayed. If you see here, October 21 to October 27. Again, we can use this custom option to see today's data, which means like what happens today, yesterday data, what happened on yesterday, and last week data, which means which does not include today, it includes from yesterday, or last week data, last month data, previous month data, okay, last 7 days data. Okay, I'm sorry, last 7 days data is what will show the data from the previous day, not from today. Okay, from previous day. Okay, from 27, not on 28 today. Okay, and last week data will be the previous week. The current week is from Saturday, Sunday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the previous week was from 18 to 24. Okay, so the previous week data, and what we can see is maximum last 30 days data. So the data which we are seeing right now is the last 30 days data. By default, it will show us last 7 days data. Okay, so if there is no data, obviously it is not going to show. Now you can, this is a summary of data which we are seeing right now. Okay, and what we can see here is the age and the gender. So these are the two factors which we have here. One is called age and another one is basically the gender. Okay, now this is the summary or overview of it. What you can do, you can go here and click on age and see the very specific metric related to age. Okay, very specific metric related to age. You can see age. All the data in Google Analytics is divided into three major sections, as I've already said: acquisition, behavior, and conversion. You can see acquisition, you see behavior, and conversions. Now if you see, acquisition has got three major sections. One is called users. Users are none other than the people who are coming to your website, and new users, and these are the people who are coming to your website for the first time. Okay, so now users are the total number of people, and the new users are those people who are coming to your website for the first time, and the sessions are those number of times that people have visited your website. Okay, they could have visited your website today and they would have stayed on your website till evening, but that is considered as one session. They can come now, after some time they can log out, and they come in the afternoon, they will again log out, they come in the evening, they again log out. Now there are three sessions, which means sessions are a shorter period of time that is generated while accessing any website. Okay, now acquisition has got three major factors. One is users, new users, and the sessions. Okay, the users are the symbol of number of visitors who are coming. The new users are those people who are coming to the website for the first time. Okay, and another metric is called behavior, which is going to give information about how people behave on our website. And bounce rate is one such metric, which is basically considered as bounce, which means this typical meaning of the word bounce. You throw a ball against the wall and the ball will come to you immediately, which means bounce, return. When a visitor opens any website like this, I'm a direct visitor here, I open a website like this, and without spending any much amount of time, and I simply close this and go off. Now what happens? This is basically called a bounce. Somebody came within 5 seconds without clicking any page or navigating anywhere, without spending much time, he closed and he went off, which means there is something that this person's expectation is not met. So bounce. Now you see, if 100 people comes, and out of 100, 99 people are bouncing, which means there is no quality. Okay, if 100 people comes and 99% of the people are bouncing, which means there is no quality. Okay, so that's what we are trying to say. If you see here, users, 34 users have come, out of which 15 users are new, where the 34 users have generated a sessions, 43 sessions in total. But what happens? The bounce rate is 57.38, 57.38, which means this is a little decent, almost, you know, you can have the bounce rate around 40. 35 to 40 is decent, but if you are having bounce rate above 50 or 60 or even above 70, that is very dangerous, which means people are not at all interested in your content. That's the meaning. If you have 90% bounce rate, like, people are like never ever interested in your content. Okay, now pages per session. For every session that is being created, how many pages did a visitor visit? At an average of 1.89 pages, and he has spent average of 2 minutes and 51 seconds time. So people are actually spending time on our website. Okay, and conversion is something where did the people sign up for the newsletter, did they make a purchase, did they make a sale, or did they sign up, or they watched the video, or something like that. So whatever is being considered. Okay, now we are seeing these metrics based on age. Now let us see based on gender. Now the people who have come to my website are only from 25 to 34. Now what is the insight that I am taking? The people who are coming to my website of amudhakumar.com is only from the age of 25 to 34. Now what will I decide? When I run an advertisement campaign, I will target people who are aged from 25 to 34 for my advertisement campaign, because people are interested from this age only, and I could able to get that information from my Google Analytic report, which I have it for the last 1 month. Okay, I have last 1 month data, and when I look into my last 1 month data, people from 25 to 34 have reached my website always, which means it is working for me. Now, when I create an advertisement campaign, I will take a decision to make sure to concentrate more on 25 to 34, because that is the age range that people are visiting my website. I can also take it on the counter angle, which means I can take it as an other way. No people from 35 and above is coming, so I can run a campaign to target people from 35 to 50 also. Now that is another counter way of looking at it. So this one is like people are actually coming from 25 to 34, so I can use this age range of 25 to 34 to target for those people who are related to SEO and digital marketing advertisements. And both the gender of male and female are coming to my website. Male are high. Both male and female are coming, where the male gender is little high. Okay, so I can see this data. So this data is available, these data are available under demographic section. Now let us move on to the interest. Okay, interest is basically what your customers or audience are interested in. Okay, now look at this one again. A overview of your audiences are available. Okay, people who are interested. Okay, so the content inside the internet platform is divided into several categories, like shoppers, lifestyle, okay, luxury shoppers, hobbies, media, technology, lifestyle, home and garden, media, beauty. Okay, now what happens? Every website or content that you create is categorized under any of this area, okay, and out of this area my website is easily ranking, or it is showing to people who are related to employment, somebody who is looking for a job opportunity related to digital marketing, all of the stuff, right? So they are highly interested in my website content, is what I can understand. Okay, so there is a category called affinity category, which means basically affinity means an attachment towards something. Okay, let us see. Okay, affinity meaning. Okay, so affinity means a strong or a feeling that you like and understand somebody something, usually because you feel similar to. Okay, which means by default, you understand something, by default you like something, you don't need somebody to push you or pull you to do something. That's basically called affinity category, which means in my business, my website amudhakumar.com is attracting people on different categories of shoppers, lifestyle, luxury shoppers, see 28 people, 24, 23, 22. Okay, which means these are the categories where my website is easily attracting people from the internet platform, out of which shoppers, people who have the option to buy online, they have the regular habit of buying products online. Okay, and those people are visiting my website, and the data is basically from September 28 to October 27 2020. So 1 month data is what I am looking into. So the same data is given as a graph here, the same data is given as a data here. Okay, under the different categories. So these are all basically called affinity categories. Okay, this affinity category can be of any category, but that is attracted to the users. Okay, so this is actually categorized by Google based on the content into the website and also the profile of the visitors who are visiting this website. So this is basically called affinity category. Now when you see a particular affinity category is working very well for you, you can start creating more content on your website related to the affinity category, so that you tend to get more visitors getting attracted towards your business. It is another study that we can have. And we have something called in market segment, which is nothing but that is related to your industry, your niche, or your topic. Okay, in market is something where your business is dealing with. Now it says employment. Okay, lots of my website influence visitors are related to getting an opportunity or getting, making themselves skilled in this particular industry. So this is what is my segment or my market. But whereas affinity categories are something where people from different categories are attracted towards my content, but that is very generic in nature. But my industry is related to training people on digital marketing, and that is related to employment. Okay, so with respect to employment, how I'm performing and all of this stuff, again these metrics are displayed under acquisition, behavior, and conversion. Okay, acquisition is something where you acquire, from where the visitors came. After coming, what did they do? And after their action, what happened? That is conversion. Okay, acquisition, behavior, conversion. Okay, and there are other small categories that is coming under the interest one. Okay, so this we can basically call it as other categories. Okay, now what are you going to do with all these three metrics? Again, by getting the metrics or data about all this, we are going to decide whether my website is driving visitors related to my in market segment, that is related to my business. What are all the affinity category that my websites are getting more visitors at, and I will come to a conclusion to make a decision on what kind of content that I need to create for my visitors or my audiences. Like this, based on the metric or data that is available, we will be able to make decisions at every point in time. Okay, that's it with respect to interest category. Okay, next, we are going to discuss about the geographical location details. Okay, where you are located at, what kind of language you speak. Okay, all these metrics are collected based on the browser settings. Okay, you go to a browser. Okay, you can see your, you can go to your google.com. Once you go to google.com, you will have your email ID being created here. Your email ID is there, and let me say, let me search something. Let me say sample content. Okay, after searching this, my Google ID has got a settings. Okay, so I can go to the search settings, and in the search settings I can see what kind of results needs to be displayed. Okay, languages. Okay, what are the languages? I prefer English. Okay, so my results are shown in English. I can change it to Tamil, English, Hindi, Telugu, Urdu, whichever I want. Now my preferred language is like English. Okay, so my browser is using English language as a default setting, and I can also go out and see these result settings. Okay, you can see location. Okay, region settings. If you see, my region is set as India. You can see here my region is set up as India. So based on my browser, my location is set up as India, and my language is set up as English. Now this is going to be the default for lots of people who are in India. People rarely set their custom languages. People rarely set their Tamil or Telugu into their custom language. And Google can also detect the people or person's location using the browser, and the browser says where I am sitting down right now. See, Amman Pulam, Bodinakanar, Tamil Nadu. Now my browser setting says I am in India. Now my GPS location says I am in Bodinayakano, Tamil Nadu. Now Google knows that this person is accessing this content from this particular place. Now based on the metric like this, Google Analytics will give us information in the geographical tag locations. You can see the language option here. Okay, under this language, you can see ENUS, UNGB, EN dot in, NLNL, okay, something. So, which means people who are using the browser with English language are these many people who have come, who have set up their browser language English as ENGB, which is in Great Britain. Okay, so London, UK, right? Their language. Then so English India. Okay, like this, the different countries. Now, when I see, I receive lots of visitors from those people who are using the browser in English US. Now, what will I do when I create a content for my website? Okay, when I create a content for my website, I will make sure that my English content is written with the priority of US English rather than Indian English or GB English. Number one, because all the people are using the browser with English US. See, the maximum visitors who are coming to my website are using English US. So I'll make sure that my language, which is written on the content, I mean the content which is written on my website, follows the guidelines of English US, starting from the spelling to the grammar to the content presentation, whatever we call it as. Now, this is the insights that I take it from my content. Let me say my target content is GB, I mean like England, okay, UK, those area. Now, what happens here? If I receive lots of visitors from English US, now that is like pretty bad. Reason because when my target audience are from GB, Great Britain, and I have all the content visitors coming down using a English US browser setting, now that is like pretty, not fair. See, you take countries like India, because the default universal language is like English is what people use, there is no difference. But when you go to countries like Canada, US, UK, Puerto Rico, and all these places, they're very specific about their accent and also the way of their pronunciation. Now, this gives me an insights of what kind of language that I can prefer in my website to write my content all about. Okay, so in this, I always prefer to write my content in English US. Okay, the next option which we have is the location. Location is basically is going to give you information about from which location did people come all the way from. Okay, so which location did people come all the way from? If you look into this, you can better understand what are all the locations from which the visitors came to your business. India, United States, Ukraine, UK, Bangladesh, China, Germany, Canada, Netherlands. So there is a lots of people who have come all the way from India, which means my website is targeting people in India. That is the deal. Now, I also receive visitors from US, Ukraine, UK. So, which means even though I target visitors in India, it does not mean that my website is restricted to show to other people in the different countries. Still, people from other countries can visit my website. Okay. Now, what happens? But what I expect, okay, what I expect is more visitors from India. The reason because my target audience are in India. There are people who are looking forward to have a digital marketing course enrolled, sitting down in US, UK, and want to learn from India. Okay, it depends in different scenarios and situations. Okay, now what is the problem when it will arise? The real problem will arise when you target India and you receive visitors from UK, US. Okay, more visitors, unusual and more visitors from different countries. Now that is the biggest challenge. Okay, then we need to take a very critical call on that. Okay, so this is basically related to the geographical and data. Based on this data, we can make a decision like is our business targeting the right location, Are we receiving the right targeted audience? If not, we may not have our business growing better. Okay. Okay, gentlemen. So we are going to discuss about the behavior option which is there under this one. See, we have nothing to mug up. We have nothing to follow one after another. Okay. The metrics whichever is given here may change. Google may add something new. Google may remove it anytime. Don't worry about it. Not only with respect to Google's analytics, you go to any platform and look into the analytical data or metrics. You will see maximum metrics like users, new user sessions, the bounce rate, okay, the engagement. So wherever you go with respect to analytical tool, these are all the metrics that you will undergo or you will bypass in those complete metric related ideas. Now you should be able to understand what are all this. So location means what, geographic means what, interest means like what are the people's interests, so you'll be able to identify. Now when people came to your website, how did they behave? Now, one concept we have is the new versus returning. Even before getting into the metric, you can understand what is that new versus returning, which means how many new people came to your website, and out of this, how many people came to your website again and again. Okay, so new visitors, 154 new visitors came, and returning visitors, only 14 people have now visited the website again and again. Now, what do we infer from this new and returning visitor? When you see more new visitors coming to your website, which means you are getting new customers. That's the deal. Okay. So new people are coming, exploring your service, and they are taking up your service. So new visitors comes in, okay, they take up your service. Now that's the deal. This is what we need to understand. When you have more returning visitors, which means people like your service and you are retaining the audience. People love your service, your website, your content. They want to come to your website again and again. Maybe take in the case of YouTube. Now the people want to come to YouTube platform daily, again and again to watch different movies. Now, with respect to YouTube's advertisement platform and all other concepts, now more returning visitors for YouTube is the biggest benefit, which means their business model is going in the right direction. Correct. Now, the new visitor is someone who come to the website for the first time. It depends on your business model. Okay, for me, a visitor comes, he takes up my course, reads it, he gets knowledgeable, he starts making money, he got some opportunity, then he may disappear. Now, that is one thing. But businesses like Quora, YouTube, and all other platform, now the people have to come to the platform every day, again and again. Now, how do you look at this metric? New visitors means you are going to get new businesses. Returning visitors means you are retaining the customers, and people love your content, and that's the reason they're coming back again and again. Okay. Now, how frequently are these people coming to your website? Okay, frequency and recency. Okay, how frequently they are coming to the website. Okay, as we already said, sessions are the shorter period of time. Okay, and page views are the number of pages that a visitor navigated in a session. Okay, the session time may be shorter, it may be longer. Somebody would have stayed on a website for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. In the 20-30 minutes, they would have navigated to 5 to 6 different pages. Now, the more the sessions are, the more the number of sessions are, okay, the lesser are the page views is what we can observe here. Okay, count of sessions, which means like how many sessions did somebody make. Okay, somebody came to a website. Okay, there are people 154 times. Okay, they came to the website only once, so 154 people came to the website only once. They did not come again at all. So they came to the website, they opened the content, they saw it, and they went off, and they never come back again. So people who visited a website for first time or only one time, 154 sessions were generated, which means people who came to the website, they saw the content and they went. That's it. Okay, they would have gone to 2 to 3 different pages. Okay, that's it, they never come back. Okay, for example, let me say Mysore Maharaja Palace, right? I went only once, and when I went to Mysore Maharaja Palace, I went into the palace several times. I went through the left side. I went, had a look at all the stuff, whichever is there inside, and I spent some time. Again, I went to the same path and came back. Went into the park again. Now, what happened? I visited that particular location, okay, palace, and I also came to the park and discussed with them. We also had lunch. So 3 to 4 times I went into the palace and I came back. Now, what happens? My session is only one. I mean, only one time I went there. But like me, there are 154 people who went to the location. Only one time. Now, what happened? When we went there for only one time, we visited a same place again and again, means more than one time. Okay, so in the same day I went to the palace 3 to 4 times. That's what we are calling it as a page views. You go to a website, you open the home page, and you move from about us to contact us to email us page or whatever you navigate. Now one person came to the website only one time, that is called a session. Like this 154 people came to the website only one time, and they navigated 2 to 3 pages and they went off. So 154 people who visited the website only one time has seen 197 page views navigated. That's the logic. Now there are only 9 people or 9 sessions where they visited the website 2 times. So 2 times they visited the website. Okay, so 9 people visited the website 2 times and they navigated to 10 pages. Okay, the number of visits indirectly. Now somebody visited the website 3 times. They created 3 sessions. Only 4 people have created 3 sessions and they visited only 5 pages. Like this, the trend goes, and the people who come to the website frequently, again and again and again and again, their primary duty is to come to my website. See, okay, people who have come to my website more than 200 times. Okay, so 200 times, 40 different people have come to my website 200 plus times, and they have navigated only to 82 pages. Indirectly, they visited a particular page and they did not move anywhere, and they got whatever they want and they left off. So this is basically called frequency and recency, which means like how frequent somebody came to your website and how much time did they spend on your website is the deal here. Okay. Now, so we have seen something called new visitors and frequency and recency. We have something called engagement, the very, very important factor which is related to SEO ranking. Lots of people ask, sir, I wrote the same content like what is there in my competitor's website, but my competitor is ranking better, but whereas I'm not. So why? Google wants to understand your content's engagement. Okay. Now, when somebody comes to your content, see, 173 sessions were created. Indirectly, 173 people visited a website and they have generated 177 page views, which means this 173 people came to the website and they navigated to 177 pages indirectly, and the amount of time did they spend is only 10 seconds. They stayed on the website only 10 seconds, which means they visited, they left off indirectly. Correct. Now, there are 7 people who spend time on the website 11 to 30 seconds. 4 people have spent 31 to 60 seconds. 18 people have spent around 61 to 180 seconds. Now, around 18 people have spent 2 minutes. Around 10 people have spent 180 to 600 seconds. And 4 people have spent this much. Now, what happens? If you look into this content, maximum people, number of sessions that is generated, they left the website within 10 seconds. Now the deal is, why did they leave within 10 seconds? That's a question. Okay. The deal is, why did they leave within 10 seconds? Now what I need to understand, I have to do something on my website so that the person does not leave my website within 10 seconds. He stays on my website about 10 seconds or 20 seconds so that the person will engage with my content. Okay. They can place a comment, they can share my content to other people, they can watch a video. Now, what we will do, once you look at this metric and you come to know that the duration that is spent on the website is very less, then we need to figure out why is the time spent by people on the website is very less, and we need to have a strategy in place. For example, you can open your content, you can make sure that you offer them a PDF file to download. They spend 5 to 7 seconds to click on the link and download the PDF file for future reference. You can put a video in front of the particular content which is embedded so that people can click on the video and watch it for some time, so they stay on your website. Right? Engagement, people can share your content as a comment, people can share the link to other people on social media platform. Now something should happen, people should act on it. Now when people don't act on your content, which means we are not producing the right content for the right people, is what we need to understand. So based on the metric whichever we are seeing, we will have to decide what are we doing and what are the things which are being done the right way. So once the behavior on your website is really nice, when the engagement is really good, now Google wants to push your content at the top because there is a very good engagement for your website. Okay, now this engagement is applicable for each and every page inside your website, not only to your home page or the whole website. Each and every page will have a separate behavior or the engagement data for your content that we'll be discussing in detail. Each and every page we can take a separate URL and try to figure out, okay, what are all the engagement that is available with respect to this one. Okay, now what happens here, once we have a very good engagement on the content, now Google prefers those content which has engagement only. It's not about your content how does it look like, it's not about how long your content is, it's not about how beautiful your language is or how quality your image is. Like of course they have an impact, very little, I mean little impact, but still if a content is not having engagement, Google does not want to show it to people. Okay, so that is one basic thing is what we need to understand. So we need to make sure to get engagement on the content. First we need to promote the content, drive visitors from different sources, and that's what we need to do. Okay, so with respect to behavior is what we have seen here. Okay, technology, very interesting factor. Okay, technology, what kind of technology are people using to come to my website, which browser they are using, which operating system they are using. Now, why should I have to know all about? Why should I have to know about this? All we know is the Chrome browser, Internet Explorer, and Firefox UC browser. Now, you know what? There are several browsers available: Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari, Android, Mozilla, Ventures, Opera. Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, now if you look into this one, of course, Chrome is the default browser that people are using to come to my website. And next is Edge. Now, what I can do when I look into a data of technology browser, okay, now what I can do, Chrome is the default browser that lots of people are using. Now, what I can say, I can go to my website on Google Chrome browser and see how does my website is displayed in Chrome. Are the visitors comfortable? Okay, are they able to see the whole window properly? Is the pop-up window working properly? Okay, or if I navigate, are the things happening well? Are people able to see the close button here so that when they don't want, they can click on close? They are able to click on the send message here so that they can send me a text message, right, or a chat message with me, right? Or will they be able to navigate to the bottom so that when they go to the 3/4 of the page, they are getting this message the right way? Is this message displayed full or it is like not being displayed? Okay, something like that. Now what happens, basically if the browser is not working well, now I need to fix it, because my browser, my visitors are coming to my website using Chrome browser. Now Edge is one such browser which is launched by Microsoft very recently. Now this is Edge, the browser which I'm going to open right now is basically called Edge. Now the Edge also to be compatible, so I need to visit my website, okay, using the Edge browser also, and I need to manually check, is the Edge browser working properly? I think it's taking some time for me to load, but anyway, Now, if I see more visitors from Edge is coming, and I need to make sure I visit my website manually and audit my website with respect to Edge browser, so that even people who are coming from the Edge browser is comfortable accessing my website. So compatibility. Okay. If not, I may lose people and I can have a lesser visitors. So no business also at times. It's very important. Okay. You can also hint, get the hint from the metric whichever is given here. Look at the behavior and the bounce rate. Okay. Chrome has got 74% of bounce rate. Edge has got 90% of bounce rate. And Firefox has got 100% bounce rate. Now, when people come to my website from Firefox, everybody is leaving my website. Why? So there is potentially an issue. Maybe the site is not loading or whatever it may be. Now the responsibility is to pay attention to Firefox and see why is my website is not working with respect to Firefox, because 100% bounce rate. All the people who came from Firefox have always left my website without doing anything. Why? Now, like this, we can come out with lots of metrics and values and decide what to do and what not to do. Okay, so with respect to this one, so the technology tab talks about the browser and the operating system. There's something called network, which is basically your internet service provider, I think. Okay, so what kind of network that they are using. Okay, if people are coming to my website using a geo connection, using a broadband connection from BSNL or different set of service providers. Okay, I can see here. I just click. We can see the in-depth data. Okay, so it is not showing for me, but still, when there is a data, it is supposed to show us. It will also show us the internet service provider whom actually provided. Okay, the biggest disadvantage with respect to Google Analytics is at times Google Analytics shows data as not set or not available. Okay, that is basically because Google does not want to share the data with you because of the privacy reason is what is being updated, but I'm not sure what is the privacy information that Google is talking about. Okay, now the technology says like the browser and the operating system. Okay, and also the network. You can go click on the Chrome browser and also start seeing the in-depth data. Okay, and Google will take you to the different location. Okay, see, look at the version of the browser, Google Chrome version. Okay, so this particular version is what is used, and this is what we are going to get some information about. Okay, oh, battery is low. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so this is basically technology. Okay, and again, so even mobile also will have more information like this. Okay, we will be discussing about mobile, cross device, custom, benchmarking, users flow, and all other topics in the upcoming sessions to come. Okay.